If you're wondering about selling your home while living in Orange County, then you're in the right place. On this channel, we're sharing all the tools for first time home sellers and covering topics like, do I have to show buyers my home? Do I have to declutter my home before showing? Do I have to repair my home before selling? Do I have to negotiate the price of my home? And does it matter if my house is messy? These are just some of the questions to ask before putting your home on the market so that you'll know how to put the most do-re-mi in your pocket when you sell your home. Be sure and check the description below for any free giveaways. Now let's get on with today's episode. Hi there, my name is Rami like do-re-mi. I am a top producing agent, a best-selling author, and an award-winning interior designer. I've been doing real estate for well over 20 years across 4 states, and I have a few things that I'd like to share with you, a few insider tips for when you get ready to sell your home or maybe buy your next home. And stay with me till the end of the video. I'm going to share with you one crazy, stupid, silly, but true real estate story. It's the favorite part of what I do, and you won't want to miss it. Now let's get started. All right, give me just a second here to switch over to my laptop. If you're thinking of selling your home in the near future, then there are a few questions to ask before moving forward. We're going to cover some of those today so that you're armed with the tools for first-time home sellers, even if this isn't the first home you've ever sold. Okay, for today, I have the 7 most common mistakes that you won't want to make when selling your home. And here comes the first one. Yes, you have to show buyers your home. I know this may sound silly, but I've actually had clients who have said to me, it only takes one buyer. I don't want 100 people traipsing through my house. The thing is, it may take 100 people to flesh out 7 good offers to end up with the one that you like. But it's also true that there are buyers who are hyper vigilant about watching the market. And when they see the one, they'll hightail it directly to that house. The question is, will that happen in your situation? Well, my very unofficial statistic, and you can see it here on the screen, and this is just from my own experience, but there's magic in the number 12. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. A lot of buyers are looking online first, and here's the psychology when they're looking. They aren't necessarily looking to find the right one. In a weird way, they look at online listings to disqualify different properties. And the first 100 people that do this are looking at your home. They just didn't walk through the front door. So the buyers who do come out typically have a high level of interest. And for me, my own listings generally sell within the first 12 showings. Not always, but this is typical. And if it doesn't happen within 12 showings, then we need to dig in and find out what the buyers are seeing in person that they don't like. By the way, it's the same on the other side of the coin as well. Most buyers that I've worked with will find their perfect home within about 7 to 12 showings. So there seems to be magic in that number 12. That's just my unofficial, unscientific opinion. Leave me a comment below and tell me whether you'd like to sell your house within just 12 showings or whether you'd like to work with the law of averages and have at least 100 people through your home to make sure that the very best price fleshes out. There's no right or wrong answer. I'm just curious. So leave me a comment below. All right. Here comes the second of the most common mistakes that you won't want to make while selling your home. You need to declutter your home. The smart seller, and I hope you consider yourself a smart seller, knows that by removing unwarranted clutter, it allows potential buyers to more easily visualize their own things in the house. While you live in your house day in and day out, it's like home to you, but it might be distracting for someone who wants to visualize their new life in your house. Now, for my own clients, I usually recommend that they make 3 passes: recycle, sell, and box up and store in the garage. And I'll tell you what I mean. The first pass through the home is to look for what my clients can throw out or recycle: old papers, magazines, craft supplies, toys, trophies, old clothing, shoes, and so on. What can be tossed? Also, go through the kitchen and throw out anything that is expired or almost empty. Spices are one of the biggest offenders. So that's the first pass: what can be tossed or recycled. And then the second pass through the house is to look for what can you sell on OfferUp or Craigslist or any of those types of websites. This might be clothing, linens, luggage. What can you sell? sports equipment, electronics, furniture, or anything that hasn't been used in the last year. You can see here on the screen that there are some smartphones and tablets. You might have TVs or a computer screen or even a DVR player that you no longer use because you've switched to streaming. Check this out. When I sold my last house, I actually made $3,400 on just what I sold. So that's the second pass. What can you sell? And then the third pass is what can you box up and store in the garage? Buyers don't care what your garage looks like. They really don't. And they expect to see boxes if you're planning to sell and move. So what can you box up? This could be home accessories like statues and vases, family photos, kitchen equipment that you're not using right now, and anything that you won't use in, say, the next 3 months. Now, I'm not saying that your house won't sell for 3 months, not at all. But think of it like this. If you were going on vacation overseas for 3 months, what would you take with you? And anything you don't take with you overseas could be stored for 3 months. And that's what we're looking for. That's the mindset. What can be boxed up and stored away? So with decluttering out of the way, now buyers can look through your home and feel that it's a home, but not have any clue at all that it's your home. That's what we're going for. And by the way, as you look at this photograph that I've got here on the screen for you, can you also see how there's literally no clutter anywhere? Nothing under the stairs, nothing on the coffee table or any table for that matter. This is what allows buyers to imagine themselves in this space. All right. Before we get to the next item, if this is your first time on the channel and you don't want to miss any tools for first-time home sellers, then take a minute to subscribe below, tap the bell for notifications. This will also help people just like you who want the best information. On this channel, we talk about how to put the most do-re-mi in your pocket when you sell your home. And we get calls every single day from people asking how to sell my house more quickly. And we love hearing from you guys. Whether you're looking to sell your house and move tomorrow or somewhere down the road, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or schedule a Zoom call. We'd love to hear from you. And those links are below. All right, let's move on to the next item. And here comes the third of the most common mistakes that you won't want to make when selling your home. Can we talk about unpleasant odors? Nothing will stop Buyer Bob in his tracks faster than a strong odor of any sort. It could be the leftover smell from last night's cabbage, or it could be the overwhelming smell of pet urine, cigarette smoke, or even certain ethnic spices from something stewing on the stove. The main concern for the buyer is this house going to smell like this once we move in? After a quick trip to Google to ask how to get rid of odors, there's one more step you can take if odors have become invasive into the walls and the flooring. And that is a fresh coat of paint and new flooring can get buyers beyond their intense negative reactions that make them want to run from your house. And just saying, a fresh coat of paint and new flooring may be an investment worth making. All right, let's move on to the next one. And here comes number 4 of the most common mistakes that you won't want to make when selling your home. And that mistake is being unwilling to make small repairs in your home. There aren't that many buyers that want to move into a house that require immediate repairs, especially the basic health and hazard repairs. For the clients that I work with, I often suggest hiring a handyman for a half day to take care of the obvious repairs. One and done. These little repairs are more obvious to buyers than you may realize, and this is one of the best ways to get the most money for your home. Psychologically, when buyers see these little needed repairs, they may still write an offer, but they tend to discount in their own mind in chunks of $5,000. If your house is priced at $800,000, but the front door and the windows aren't appealing, there's $5,000 off. If the ceiling has stains from an old leak that's been repaired, but the ceiling wasn't repainted, well, there goes another $5,000. If the kitchen has wear and tear, there goes another $5,000. But having a handyman for a half a day may seem like it's money out of your pocket, but I promise it'll actually put more do-re-mi in your pocket at the end of the day. All right, let's move on to the next item. And here is number 5. of the 7 most common mistakes that you won't want to make when selling your home, and that is being unwilling to negotiate on the price of your home. Sometimes it's tempting to play hardball, but it can backfire. It's easy to think we have a sure thing as sellers, but the warning here is to not be insulted by low offers. Buyers want to get the home for the best price and the best terms they can, just like you want to sell for the best price and the best terms. It's rare that either party walks away from a negotiation with everything they want, but we do want to get as close as we can. The idea is to get at least in the game of negotiating so that the deal doesn't die before it even gets started. So leave me a comment below. Are you a hardball player, or are you an everybody needs to win negotiator? No judgment. I'm just curious. Leave me a comment below. All right, let's move on to the next item. And here are the last 2 of the most common mistakes that you won't want to make when selling your home. And this one is keeping a messy house during showings. I'm reminded of the old sitcom Roseanne. In one particular episode, somebody came to the door unexpectedly, and Roseanne invited them in and said, well, excuse the mess, but, we live here. Did you ever see that episode? Well, here in the real world, buyers who see a messy home just assume it hasn't been maintained, and they tend to offer a much lower price. I often tell my clients, just do a quick 10-minute sweep before going to bed, set a timer for 10 minutes and pick up as much as you can, and then do the dishes every morning so that the sink is clean. You'd be surprised how much a clean sink impacts buyers when they walk through the house. And here we are. Here comes number 7 of the 7 most common mistakes that you won't want to make when selling your home. And that is that you have bad photos on the internet. Huge mistake. More than 90% of buyers go online as part of their research for buying a home. 90%. Most buyers will likely first be introduced to your home online. Poor photos could be a reason for them to disregard your home before they ever set foot in it. And this is one of the most common mistakes I see out there. Too much clutter, poor lighting, uninviting images. These are all reasons that a buyer will say, pass. The largest potential of buyers will see your house the first day it's on the internet. So we've got to get the photos right. I mean, just look at the bad photos versus the good interior photo that I'm showing you here. Which of these 2 houses, if you were a buyer, would you be most likely to go see first? All you have to do is Google this search phrase, how to photograph my house before selling it. And I promise you'll find tons of tips from decluttering, lighting, making the photograph more appealing. So there's no excuse. Do not allow bad photos of your home to be posted on the internet. All right. Leave me a comment below if you'd like to know my best tips for quick and easy photography so that you can get the photos right. And by the way, any good agent, me included, will provide you with professional HD photographs in our listing packets. So don't be afraid to ask about that. In the meantime, leave me a comment below if you'd like to know my best tips for quick and easy photography so that you can get the photos right. Now, in each of these episodes, I've promised to share with you the lighter side of real estate by featuring one crazy, stupid, silly story. These stories are my favorite part of real estate. So what do we have for today? And this one comes from Brad in Illinois. And he says, I was out taking pictures at a vacant lake house, and I inadvertently locked myself in the small sunroom porch. It was an exterior door between the room I was locked in and the main part of the house, and it was self-locking. And I didn't know that when I closed the door to take pictures. No phone, no reception, no windows, just a solid glass wall. Had to wait 4 hours for a neighbor to come outside and get their attention. I peed in a toy cup. The room temperature rose to over 100 degrees, and it was miserable. Funny thing, the same thing actually happened to the termite inspector the day before. Yes, I found his pee. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we agents do for the big bucks. All right, let's move on. Remember, whether you're looking to sell your house and move tomorrow or next year or somewhere down the road, you can give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or schedule a Zoom call. We'll talk about how to put the most do-re-mi in your pocket. When we see each other, you can ask about the 3 options for getting more do-re-mi from the sale of your home. I call these the 3 do-re-mi options. One of these will be just right for you, and the other 2 won't be a fit. I'd love to go over these with you in person. So thanks for watching. Be sure and check the description below for any free giveaways, and I look forward to chatting with you soon.